Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another reaction episode to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's right, my name is Fan. Hello. Last time in Buffy, we got a wedding that went just about as awful as a wedding could go. I suppose nobody died? I mean, an evil demon died, but, no one that mattered died, I suppose. But everybody just started fighting each other, and then at the end of the day, the wedding didn't happen because the groom, Sander, decided he didn't want to marry the bride. And the thing is that is such a complicated, labyrinth of reasons as to why that was, that I get, maybe not fully, but I think I get it pretty well. It's a lot of that is the discussion that I had last episode, so go check that out. It's a lot of Sander. It's something that he didn't vocalize properly because it's a lot to ask him to vocalize that properly because it's a lot of internalized issues that he hasn't dealt with. And Anya maybe doesn't realize those things. And I don't think she does. And what happens is that Anya is just coming out of the situation feeling a lot of unresolved, awful feelings that she probably doesn't know what to do with. And maybe he's gonna make some bad decision. Maybe she will go back to being a demon. So, we have no idea what's gonna happen now moving forward. This is one of those complexities that happens in the real world that Season 6 is really doing a lot, that I find fascinating. And I really, really like. And I don't know if it's gonna resolve positive. And that's the thing that this season does. And, I will say that I said... I think it was a week ago, I made a post on my YouTube community tab that was just I think season 6 is my favorite. And I was reading some of the replies and it's mixed because people are like, hell yeah, I love it. And then other people are like, it's not my thing. I don't like it. And it seems like the reason why that is because season 6 is a lot of this. It's a lot of very complex issues with our characters that we have grown to care about and love. And it's just them dealing with some fucked up shit or doing some fucked up shit. And we have mixed reactions to that because, maybe you don't like seeing your favorite characters go through some really awful things or doing some awful things. I like the complexity of it, but maybe some people do not. Maybe some people are just here to be able to love this fictional character, and I don't want to think too hard about that. Or maybe it's not even about thinking hard about it. It's just it makes me feel bad, and that's not what I'm here for. That's not what Buffy the Vampire Slayer is to me. And I get that, because a lot of Buffy was that. Season 6 is a hard pivot into something else. Season 5 was already pivoting. So, Buffy is multiple different things, but Season 6 in particular feels that way. And I'm starting to think about it, and I think that maybe Season 6, I don't know how it's gonna end. But I'm thinking about Season 6 and I'm getting this feeling that maybe some things are just not going to resolve positively. Maybe some things are just gonna suck and you just kind of have to deal with that. And maybe that's part of the reason why people don't like it. My personal feeling on that is that I would prefer if they were resolved, actually. I would. Because at this point I care about these characters and I would like for them to get some kind of solution or closure to some of the issues that they have. And I would like to see those issues handled well. However, I can see a line in which season 6 does not actually do that and instead just chooses to torture the shit out of everybody, and then it just goes yeah, life sucks, credits roll. And that could be the case. That could happen. I would rather they didn't. I would rather see actually further developments that are very clever and very real in how they're handled, and everybody ends up coming out the other end in a more mature and positive manner instead of just yeah, it sucked anyway. Moving on, because to me that feels okay, we're just saying, man, these are fucked up issues, which they are, and the reason why they're good is because they are very real. But if that's the extent of it without any actual further development, then I feel it's a little bit of a letdown. So I would rather see some resolution to some of the stuff. What is going on with Buffy, great shit. The Buffy thing is fantastic. The Buffy and Spike thing that we had 2 episodes ago, that's really good. The point where they're at right now is really good, and that I see as a common, almost resolution to what was going on with Buffy and Spike. So I think that is handled great right now. I love that. But the Sander thing is one of those things where, like, I could see a future in which Sander doesn't actually get his shit together because he doesn't realize the lessons that he has to realize. And I can't really blame him for it because some of that stuff, it's heavy stuff that really takes a lot of introspection to get there. And Sander, like, I don't think Sander has even put in, like, an inkling of effort into getting there. And it's the kind of shit that takes you, like, maybe 15 years of your life to get there. So, like, I can't really blame him for that, but I would like to see that getting a little better. I mean, because really what it would take is for Anya to actually realize that Sander has these issues that are unsolved. And she decides, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be the big partner here, and I'm gonna put my foot down, and I'm gonna say, like, no, you're coming with me. We're gonna fix your shit, and I'm gonna be leading the charge here, like, because I care about you, and that's why I'm doing it. And it is not Anya's job to do that, but if you really love and care about your partner, it is something that you should do for them, and then ideally they would do the same for you. So that is kind of where I'm coming at this from, of like a potential solution. Because I think that ideally it would be great if Sander were to be able to fix his shit, figure his shit out about the way he was raised, his parents, his family, how he sees relationships or intimacy and all that stuff. Like, it would be great if he could do that on his own. I don't think he's capable. And that's why I see a very huge possibility that he never actually gets this figured out or resolved before the end of the show. I think maybe we're gonna have a sad ending to this relationship between Sander and Anya. And maybe that's what previous episode already was, but I'm still hung up on that, and it's like I'm thinking about, like, how is that gonna resolve? And it might already have been resolved. That was all we got. So yeah, that is how I'm feeling. I think that's mostly everything I wanted to say. Sorry, again, long intro. I do this a lot. I shouldn't say anymore. I should just watch this episode. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, Patreon. Check out the Patreon. Link in the description below. Pop up on the screen. You can support the channel. You can watch the next 2 episode reactions, as well as full-length reactions, and your watch-alongs. Also, the cool stuff that I do. Okay, well, let's begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 6, Episode 17. Let's go.
Previously.
What do you mean Xander's missing?
He didn't go missing. He came back, and then he was like, we're not doing it. I guess it matters because he actually went to, like, a different place. He didn't go back to his home. He just went somewhere else. New rentals. Oh, is she tracking him down? Oh my god, and the nerds are like, oh, she's looking for us. She's onto us.
Yeah, real funny. And it serves you right for taking Z's on the lookout. What do you expect? I haven't had a decent night's sleep since...
Did you commit a murder?
Oh, Jack Torrance in here, you know? Stuck in this basement for weeks.
Book Jack Torrance or movie Jack Torrance? Or TV series Jack Torrance?
The last thing that we need is to be surprised by the... Louise.
Yeah, the Slayer's here.
Andrew, deploy your little friend.
I do think it's kind of cool to have a group where every one of them has, like, a specialization.
Hi. You didn't, by chance, happen to just eat a couple nerds, did you?
Okay, so she's actually looking for the nerds. I thought she was looking for Sander. Because I have to imagine that Sander felt so ashamed that he just decided, I'm just gonna leave forever. It's better if I'm not in anyone's lives right now. He has a knife.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Oh?
We're gonna have to strap her down.
Okay. I have to imagine that demon did something. And now she's here. I mean, that could have been all in her head, but I don't think it was. I think that demon did something when it stabbed her, and then we have a huge chunk of missing time, and then we're here. Okay, we're doing some weird shit today. Alright, I'm gonna try to decipher what is going on in this episode.
Hi.
No idea what I'm gonna say.
Sarah, how are you? I was wondering if you would want to go out sometime?
I was thinking that she was gonna see her talking to a different girl. I'd immediately chicken out, yeah. Okay, so you still have a job.
Buffy. Buffy.
Or maybe you're crazy. Who knows?
It's time for your drugs.
What if the entire season happened inside her head? That would be fucking crazy. That would be insane. I don't know how I would feel about it. I feel like... Okay. Let's keep watching. That looks awful. I don't think it's all in her head. Because we have scenes of like Willow and Tara. Those scenes she's not there for.
When I was seeing her, she was seeing someone else. Not seeing. I don't know, it was inconclusive, and I didn't stick around to find out. I might have magicked my fist through a wall or something. And they're probably just friends.
Even if they're not.
My friends.
Hi,
Xander?
I'm back.
Xander, you're here. We missed you. Where were you?
I tried calling, but I couldn't without.
Hey, you don't need to explain to us.
Right. Is she here?
She left a couple days ago.
She was kind of broken.
I don't know how stuff got so mixed up, but things got so complicated with the wedding and with my family and with her demons, and what if it all goes to hell and forever? But then I left, and ever since, I've had this painful hole inside, and I'm the idiot that dug it out.
Mm-hmm.
I screwed up real bad.
Hey, we all screw up.
I do love how everyone is a fuck up this season. It's fantastic.
You didn't hear.
What? Families get out of hand?
Xander left. The wedding didn't happen.
Wow, gotta say. I didn't see that coming.
It was awful. Anya was devastated. And Xander thinks maybe they can still get back together, but he hurt her a lot.
Yeah, well, some people can't see a good thing when they've got it.
Spike.
Hey, guys. I found Spike and was,
Tell you what, Slayer. Stop bothering you.
Yeah, maybe you should do that, Spike. Just run along.
You know, I guess you know all about that, don't you?
I don't need this crap from you.
Right. Let's not listen to Spike. Might get a bit of truth on you.
Dude, come on.
Calm down.
I forgot. Willie Wannabite can't hurt me.
William Wannabite is pretty good.
guys, don't.
Buffy, can you hear me?
I don't see a name tag. I wanted to read it.
Do you know where you are, Buffy?
Sunnydale.
No, none of that's real. None of it. You're in a mental institution. You've been with us now for 6 years.
Okay, that's how I know that this isn't real. That would be the craziest red cut of the entire show if they go like, actually none of that shit was real. Vampires? What? You've been in a coma for 6 years. What are you talking about? Let's go to the 10 Towers.
Look who's here.
Buffy?
It's great that they got Joyce back here.
She's lucid. Keep talking. Maybe the sound of your voice will ground her. Honey, can you hear me?
I have to say,
No.
this is like an insanely effective method of attack.
I've been having these flashes. Hallucinations, I guess.
Like, this is an incredibly effective attack, I have to say. That would fuck you up. That would fuck me up. Suddenly you have a moment of like, you wake up out of the Matrix and you're like, what the fuck? And then you go back and then you're expected to just live out your life. What?
It stung me or something, and I was in an institution. They told me that I was sick. And that, Sunnydale and all of this, none of it was real.
What? You think this isn't real just because of all the vampires and demons and ex-vengeance demons and the sister that used to be a big ball of universe-destroying energy?
You're not making a good case.
Mom was there. Dad, too. They were together, like they used to be before Sunnydale.
Okay, all in favor of research? All right, Xander, you hit the demon bars. Donnie, you can help me research. We'll hop
Okay,
online,
what are we
check
gonna
out-
see now?
Possibilities for a full recovery, but we have to proceed cautiously.
What is your name? I want to see the doctor's
Buffy
name.
could be like she was before any of this happened.
Buffy's delusion is multi-layered. She believes she's some type of hero. She's also created an intricate lattice work to support her primary delusion.
You know, all of our friends.
Warren and Jonathan, they did this to me.
Yeah.
Buffy, it's all right. They can't hurt you here. You're with your family.
Dawn.
That's the sister, right?
Buffy inserted Dawn into her delusion, actually rewriting the entire history of it to accommodate a need for a familial bond.
But she didn't rewrote the history
Buffy,
of
but
it.
that created inconsistencies, didn't it?
But she's aware that she wasn't slotted in.
Sunnydale, they aren't as comforting as they once were. They're coming apart.
Okay, this is actually a good method of attack. It's like all your friends are falling to pieces.
Create these grand villains to battle against. And now what is it? Just three pathetic little men.
Dude, that poison
That's-
got her drooling like I have some kind of
That's actually really cool because it's almost like the writer looking at the camera and being like, "Yeah, this is crazy, isn't it? It's something weird as fuck."
The packages.
It would be cool if Jonathan helped.
It's just stuff. Alright, you'll be in the know just as soon as you stop being all freakazoid. Where are you going?
Out. Getting stuff I need.
You know, I don't really think that's such a good idea.
They don't trust Jonathan, and they shouldn't.
Look, we're a team. Something happens to you, it happens to all of us. Right? Stick together. Okay?
Okay. I see Jonathan as the type of character that's he's gonna help out and die in the process, you know?
Look, Buffy, I found the demon. Its pokey stinger carries an antidote to its own poison.
I feel so lost. Even before the demon, I've been so detached.
Buffy, look at me. You are not in an institution. You have never been in an institution.
Yes, I have.
What?
Back when I saw my first vampires, I got so scared. I told my parents.
Alright.
Completely freaked out.
Okay. So this delusion is actually a continuation of a very traumatic moment of your life.
I never said anything.
What if I never left that clinic?
Buffy, you're not.
It's crazy how much this is fucking her and me up.
We're gonna get you that antidote. Xander's hunting the demon right now.
Oh, you can't. It's too strong.
It's
Yeah.
okay. We got help.
So,
Spike?
she's having
Yeah.
the Wiggins, is she? Thinks none of us are real. Bloody self-centered, if you ask me. On the other hand, it might explain some things. Yeah, fix up some chip in my head. Make me soft, fall in love with her. Then, turn me into a sodden sex slave.
What?
Nothing. Alternative realities. You know, in a different reality, you might not have left your bride at the altar.
Okay, one more syllable about Anya.
Don't get stabbed. That's the only thing you have to do. Just don't get stabbed. Gotta track around. Okay. Is that it? We're good?
I altered his reality. Get it? Never mind.
I thought it was kind of cool.
I'm okay, Don.
The 1,000-yard stare really helps sell that. You're burning up.
Coming apart.
What's coming apart?
Everything.
We have to try harder. Make things better. Willa's been doing your chores, hasn't she?
No, it's the fever. It's cooking your brain.
Listen to her.
We have to deal with these things, Don.
You don't have a sister, Buffy. Say it.
I don't have a sister.
It's your mind just playing tricks on you.
Mom and Dad just want to take you home and take care of you.
I'm not even there, am I? I said it a second ago. You don't have a sister. It's your ideal reality. And I'm
What do you mean ideal?
Don, I didn't mean...
I have to go finish my chores.
Okay. I mean, I don't blame Dawn for feeling this way.
I'll need its arm.
Don't get stabbed. That's the only thing you have to do.
Ready? Xander, we'll need alkanet root and a handful of nettle leaf. Meet me at the campus lab. I'll see if I can brew up an antidote the old-fashioned way.
Oh, here. Keep an eye on the wax job.
Buffy, got yummy antidote goodness for you. It took a little longer than I'd hoped. No magic and all. When it's cool, drink it all down and everything should go back to normal. Make sure she drinks all that.
Spike, don't blow everything up.
All right.
You need to leave me alone. You're not a part of my life.
Fine then. I hope you don't think this antidote's gonna rid you of that nasty martyrdom. See, I figured it out, love. You're addicted to the misery. That's why you won't tell your pals about us. Might actually have to be happy if you did. They'd either understand and help you, God forbid, or drive you out. Or you could finally be at peace with me. Either way, you'd be better off for it, but you're too twisted for that.
I'm afraid she's just not gonna drink it. She's just not gonna drink it. This life sucks.
Stop.
Everything here sucks.
Bloody hero trip for a sec. We'd all be the better for it.
Oh my god. Spike literally had one job and he blew it. Cool. Awesome. This is great. Love it.
I don't want to go back there. I want to be healthy again.
And how can you blame her for it when life sucks so bad?
You have to start ridding your mind of those things that support your hallucinations. There are things in that world you cling to.
You have to get rid of your friends. You have to get rid of your family.
They're traps. We have to break those down. I'm talking about those things you want there.
My friends.
That's right.
They're not really your friends, Buffy. They're just tricks keeping you from getting healthy.
You have to do whatever it takes to convince yourself of that, Buffy.
Buffy, I didn't see you. You feeling better? Well, we still have the big bad all tranked out down in the basement in case it didn't work and we need more parts.
Okay, so we can get more antidote.
It'll be nice to see you all better. I can make you some food. Something big with energy. Help you clear your noggin. Come on.
It's like fascinating to me how Spike is like actually a pretty wise person sometimes, and then at other times he has zero clarity as to the effect of his words and his actions.
So did Willow get that antidote to you all right?
Yeah. I'm better now.
The look really sells it.
We're real, right? Guess we should finish off that demon and drag it out of the basement. I so don't want to see Spike right now. I mean, talk about losing touch. The things that poor guy was saying. I mean, I get it, you know? Been a part of the Buffy obsession.
She's just convinced that you're not real. That none of you are real, and she needs to dispose of you to be able to escape this fucked up world. Who can save us? Willow Magic, Tara randomly coming in, Spike doubling back and deciding to come back and then say, you know what, I see some fucked up shit. Jonathan? Or just Buffy, Dawn. Maybe Dawn is the thing that grounds her back down, but I don't know.
Don't you knock?
Where are you going?
I'm going over to Janice's.
You're not going anywhere.
What do you care?
I care.
I
You're
like
going
that.
downstairs with the others. It's the only way I can get healthy.
What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
Stay away from me! Willow, help!
Buffy!
Okay, Dawn is in a horror movie now.
Hi, Dawn.
Buffy, please listen to me. That asylum and those people, they're not real. Buffy, you're my sister. I need you and love you.
I love that Dawn is the one that has to actually...
Where inside you must know that's real.
Sure it is. Because what's more real? A sick girl in an institution? Or
Please listen to
some
me.
kind of supergirl chosen to save the world. Yeah, that makes sense.
No! Buffy, stop it. I'll be good. I promise. You're not thinking. Oh.
It's okay, Buffy. Don't stress yourself. Make it as easy on yourself as possible. Nothing wrong with that.
Buffy?
The demon freeze so it kills everybody.
Oh my god. Buffy, help me!
But you can't watch it do that.
Hands!
You can't watch this happen.
Hello?
Tara! I love you! Save the day.
Buffy? It's gonna be okay, sweetheart. Just keep concentrating. I'm right here, sweetie.
Buffy, help me!
Willow? Examete.
Thanks.
There's Zenobia. So Vera.
You can get rid of that demon though. We need the antidote.
No.
Buffy.
Buffy, look at me. I believe in you. You're a survivor. You can do this. Buffy, fight it. You're too good to give in. You can beat this thing. Be strong, baby, okay? I know you're afraid. I know the world feels like a hard place sometimes, but you've got people who love you.
Oh, this is
Your
great.
dad and I, we have all the faith in the world in you. We'll always be with you. You've got a world of strength in your heart.
She's
And
actually-
you just have to find
She's
it.
encouraging her to actually fight.
Believe in yourself.
It's almost like her mom from beyond the grave is coming in here and saving her in the last moment. That's really cool. I know she's the delusion, but it's almost as she's coming in and saving her. Thanks, Mom.
You're right. Thank you. Goodbye.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm so sorry.
We're okay, it's all okay.
Buffy, sit down. You'll fall over.
Not until I have the antidote.
We'll make more. We'll take care of it.
I'm sorry, there's no reaction at all. I'm afraid we lost her.
Okay. Crazy fucking ending, I have to say. Because the thing about that ending is that I don't think they want to retcon the entire show and say, like, actually, none of that shit was real. Because that is just pissing on your fans and everything that you have built thus far. But that seems to be the implication of that ending. And to me, the way I look at it, it's almost like whoever came up with that idea at the end is just like, we're doing like a crazy horror episode, and this is gonna be the end stinger twist that is gonna leave you with like this sense of this haunting behind you after the episode is over. But like, it's doing so at the expense of like literally everything you have done thus far. Just to have a little bit of fun, you know, because that is not coming back. There's no way that is coming back in the sense of like, you know, Buffy was actually in a mental institution and none of that shit was real. Because then that means that the show doesn't matter anymore almost. But that seems to be the implication. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a type of episode that entirely because that ending scene, people usually don't want to remember that this episode exists. They just live in a world in which it doesn't, right? They just go like, oh yeah, that episode, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that episode. That episode didn't happen. That episode's not real, you know? Exclusively because of that ending. Because there's no way that I go into the next episode and it's just like continuing the mental institution arc. There's no way that that's happening. So I think that is just having a little bit of fun, you know, the end horror stinger of like, but what if the mental institution bit was real though? What if all that shit was real? And I'm like, well, that is pissing all over the entire universe you've created thus far. Angel didn't have a baby. That didn't happen. What are you talking about? You know? Like, everything that has happened in this entire show and everything related to this show is just not real. Again, I think that is just... I think that is a mistake. I think that you can have a little bit of fun, but I think that... I think that if you want to have that fun at the expense of, like, everything, you're not having fun anymore. You're just ruining the entire universe. And I understand that we can cope and say like, oh yeah, that was just Buffy deciding to be in the real world, and now we get to see the death in like a third person perspective from the fake world, which is what Buffy was seeing before or whatever. It's still not real, but we can cope and come up with a million different ways. But the implication of that ending is very clear to me. However, I choose not to engage with that. Moving on, we're going to talk about the actual episode, because I actually think this episode is pretty good. I like that. I think this episode is pretty alright. Because what this episode is doing is actually... It's going to be really fun if I go into the next episode and we're continuing the mental institution arc. But I don't think we are. I think we're done with that. But what this episode is actually doing, which I really like, is that it is essentially putting a light on, hey, hasn't this season been really fucked up? Hasn't everybody have been dealing with so many rough things, and isn't that a bad thing? Like, isn't that weird? And isn't that just, doesn't that feel like shit? Isn't it weird that everything is so complicated and bad and feels bad and is wrong? And it's just like, wouldn't it be better if none of that shit was real, and if you could just go back to your normal life? And the thing is that that is a very tempting offer. It is, because this season sucks. And I don't mean the quality of the season sucks, in case you're not listening to me at all and you only heard those 3 words. Everything that has happened in this season feels like shit. Not just to the audience, but to Buffy herself. So wouldn't it be awesome if you could just say, oh, that's not real, and I can go back to a world in which, like, my mom is here, my dad gives a shit, and it's just like, yeah, it's fascinating how that transitions, because early on in the episode, the horror of it is the fact that, like, none of your friends are real, none of the relationships are real, like, everything that we have seen in the show and everything that we care about, what if none of that was real? And that is the horror of it. But then at the end, it flips into, no, actually the horror of it is the fact that all of that shit is real, and doesn't your life fucking suck in this show? What if you just went back to a world in which you didn't have to deal with any of that, you know? You just have a supportive mom and dad, and maybe you miss your entire teenage years and young adulthood, but, you know, your caring parents can help you rehabilitate, and you can just transition into a normal life. Like, sure, that doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world. Sure, that could happen, and it becomes an appealing idea for Buffy, and it becomes an appealing idea because everything sucks in season 6 to Buffy. So she's like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Like, this is an extremely effective method of attack from these 3 fucking losers, from Andrew over here. These 3 nerds have done more emotional, psychological damage to Buffy Summers than anyone in this fucking show, honestly. Nobody has done more damage to Buffy Summers than these 3 fucking nerds. Like, I'm trying to think of someone who has. Like, Gloria a little bit. I mean, Faith, but not really. I don't think Faith has. I mean, maybe a little. The things with Faith got complicated, but I don't think it fucked Buffy up that much. I guess Angel, like Angelus in season 2, that fucked her up, but most of it we didn't see. You know, it fucked her up, and then she left, and then the next season started, and she came back, you know? But these 3 nerds are consistently torturing her whenever they attack her, because they attack her in such a psychological way. It's really effective. Every antagonist that we have should be doing more of this. Should be doing more of, like, let's torture Buffy Summers with some psychological shit. Because that really is what gets to her. Because Buffy's really strong with her face, but her mental, that's a different topic altogether. Her mental is in fucking shambles, especially this season. So maybe it's just the fact that this season it's easier to get to her, you know, because everything's falling apart. And that is why I like that this is the specific attack, because the doctor, whatever his name was, he reminded me of, like, Dr. Moon from Silence in the Library. But I like that he's pointing at the fact that this isn't as messed up. Like, he's acknowledging something that at this point in episode 17 or whatever, like, it's something that we have experienced, we know to be true, and this guy is just saying, like, isn't that weird? Isn't that fucked up? What if that was a symptom of a larger issue, such as nothing is real, you know? Like, I like how he's presenting that, but he's not just presenting that in that way, but he's also wearing down Buffy's defenses, because, yeah, everything is fucked up. What if you could say that wasn't real? And I like that is such a tempting offer, and I could see it happening, because it's like, yeah, sometimes it feels like it would be better if you could just escape and maybe start over a little bit, you know? Because life is rough and difficult like that, and it makes you feel bad. So what if you just had an exit button? I suppose we all have an exit button, but it's not an exit button anyone wants to take, necessarily. It's a difficult exit button, but this is an exit button that is a do-over. So what if you could just get a do-over, you know? What if you could just escape? And Buffy has already tried to escape. We had that episode Gone. Not even that long ago, she's tried to escape in some way. She went invisible and she loved it. Buffy doesn't want to deal with life. And that is consistently the theme of the season, you know? everything sucks, so like what if I could just not deal with it? And Buffy's continuously trying to escape in one way or another, and it seems like this is another version of it. This version is a lot more fucked up because it implies that like none of that shit was real actually. And like god, sorry, I can't stop thinking about that ending, because that ending, like I am not thinking about that ending in the sense of like, you know, I am taking that ending seriously. I can't stop thinking about that ending because I see that ending as like a destruction of everything that anyone cares about. Because if anyone comes up to me and it's like, but didn't you feel all these emotions that these characters felt in this specific moment? And I'm like, well, that shit didn't happen. It wasn't real, actually. As presented by season 6, episode 17, none of that shit mattered because it wasn't real, actually. So yeah, none of the show matters. And you don't really have a ground to stand on to tell me that I'm wrong. But the thing is that I disagree with that. I think that that is a stupid fucking idea to have added that ending. I think that ending undermines not just the episode, but everything. So I think it's such a stupid fucking ending. I really think it's just a stupid ass fucking ending. But okay, moving on. Ignoring that ending, I think this episode is fascinating. And I really like it. I do think Spike was a fucking idiot, as he always says. But he's Spike. Like Buffy said, like, why should I expect him to be any different? You know, that's just the way Spike is. But sure. But I do like that this episode is exploring, again, this idea of like, hey, what if you could just, if you could just opt out? You know, if you could just not be here. And it's like, well, yeah. And I do like the horror of it is really real. Like, I had a moment where like Buffy was really fucked up, that I was like, it's amazing to me how fucked up she is, and also how fucked I am watching this happen. Because I put myself in her shoes, and I'm like, yeah, that would fuck me up. If suddenly I just started having all these flashes of like, actually I'm in a mental institution, none of the thing that has happened in the past decade has been real, I'd be a little fucked up. I'll be honest with you, I'd be a little fucked up. I would be a little fucked up. If that is what happened, it would mess me up in a way that I don't know if I could recover. So the fact that Buffy has to deal with that in this episode, it's making me go like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like that's a really bad one. You know, that's a really bad thing to have to deal with. So yeah, I suppose I can talk about the stupid nerds this episode. I do like that seemingly Jonathan he just doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. And I think that Jonathan is fitting into this role that I am expecting him to like help us out, like betraying them and die in the process probably, you know? Because the truth is that Jonathan is not an all good person. Because Jonathan has done fucked up shit before in the past. And he seemed to have learned his lesson, and then he's doing fucked up shit now in the present again. But then it's fascinating because these three idiots, like they represent like different like stages or different types of person, of people who participate in like awful things in the real world, you know? Because you have Warren, who's an actual fucking psychopath. Like, Warren sucks. Warren is just an evil fucking guy and doesn't care about anything. And he has very personal desires that only he gives a shit about, but he has like no empathy for anybody. So like, he sucks. He's just a full psychopath. You have Andrew, who's the guy who, when he realized that he can get away with something, then he's like, oh, I'm actually into this. Like, I like the power trip of it. I'm a coward, so I wouldn't have done any of this before. But now that I'm realizing that actually this is kind of cool. Like, it's cool to know that I could do something, that I could hold the power, and actually I could continue to be cool. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with the consequences of it. Now I'm kind of into it. So that's what Andrew represents. And Jonathan represents the guy who gets roped into all of this, and he doesn't realize up until it's too late and too real that he didn't want to be here. Like, he doesn't actually realize the repercussions of his actions until it happens, and then it hits him. And then he's like, okay, no, I don't want to be a part of this, guys. But at that point, everybody's like, you're with us now. You can't go to the police because you're going to be an accomplice. And even then, in this episode, let's say Jonathan actually wanted to go and get help. He wanted to go and confess. He wanted to go and get these guys locked up. Or he wanted to go and ask for help from the Slayer or whatever. And Warren was like, no, you're not leaving us, buddy. You know, I'm worried about you. You can't go alone on your own. But really what Warren is doing is just keeping him on a leash. Because he can see that Jonathan is it's kind of straying a little bit. He can see that Jonathan has that defiance in his eyes, and he's like, I don't trust Jonathan, so I don't want to keep Jonathan too far away from me. You know, I'm going to keep him where I can see him. So that's really what's going on, and that's a bad spot to be at. Which is why I'm looking at Jonathan, and I'm like, I'm hoping that he does something cool, because, like, he seems to be the kind of guy who would. To realize, like, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this. This is fucked up. I don't like it. And in fact, fuck you guys. Like, I'm absolutely going to stand in defiance against you. But I also feel like he's the kind of guy who would die in the process, because ultimately he doesn't have that much fight in him. He's not that great at anything. He doesn't stand out too much. And then we can do a commentary on the fact that, you know, the little guy who doesn't get to do much, he's actually the guy who's gonna come in clutch. But, you know, he's also not an all that great guy. You know, he's just a guy who's trying to do better. And it's cool to tell stories about people who have done fucked up shit or have been accomplices in fucked up shit trying to do something better. I think that's cool. I like that. People change, but I don't see a world in which Jonathan gets away scot-free. Is all I'm saying. What else can I say about this? I do like that. Okay, we have more of Dawn feeling, you know, like, oh, you don't want me because you told me to my face that I'm not real and whatever. So I get that. But also, I do like that there was this moment where Dawn actually, like, she was like, no, Buffy, like, I'm your sister and I need, like, because it is Dawn being put in a position where she has to actually bring herself back and realize, like, actually, I'm gonna try to help my sister because she needs me. You know, it's like, I have this fear and complex about, like, people abandoning me or people not wanting me and me not being real. But in this moment, I have to be the one to reinstate that I am real and that I matter because my sister needs to know that. Which is why I kind of would have liked it if that would have been the thing that dragged Buffy back. But it wasn't. Instead, it didn't matter whatsoever. I do like that, and it was a really cool thing that Joyce was the one that told Buffy to fight on, to realize that there's people who care about her, to, you know, be there, to the world is difficult, but you have to keep fighting. You have to hang on because ultimately, like, it matters. You know, it does matter. And in that moment, Buffy realized what actually mattered. You know, I'm going to go back to my friends. They're real. They're cool. And I care about them. And I'm going to help them out. I'm going to save them. And it is Buffy's choice, ultimately, that grounds her back into reality, which is difficult to mention as reality because the ending ruins the entire episode/show. But I choose to ignore that ending happened, and the show is reality, okay? We can all agree on that. I'm pretty sure that is probably what everybody agrees on. Even before I read any comments whatsoever, I am pretty sure that is where everybody is at. Because the alternative is nightmarish, and it's a fucking disaster for the lore of this show. And not just the lore, but just really just anyone who ever cared about anything. That is why I don't like the ending of this episode. Because I think I have a hard stance on just like, I think that it's cool to care about stuff. Maybe that is a radical take to have in the year of our Lord 2025. But I do believe that you should care about things. And an ending like this one, it feels like it doesn't care about anything. Anything that has happened in the past 16 episodes or whatever. It feels like this episode doesn't actually care about any of it because of that ending. Not the episode, the ending, just exclusively the ending. It feels like it doesn't care about anything. And it doesn't care about you if you care about it. And I just disagree with that notion. You know, I just ideologically disagree with that. It feels like trying to have fun at the expense of everything. And I just don't agree with that. I think that's a really stupid idea. So, is that the ending note that I want to leave this video on? Because, like, what else do I have to say? Like, I kind of went over everything. Like, as hardcore as this episode was, like, I suppose I can talk about Sander and Anya. But, like, there wasn't really that much to say in that area either. Like, this episode, as hardcore as it was, like, it was very, I suppose, kind of straightforward, you know? Just, like, Buffy gets jabbed with the delusion drug, and then she suffers delusions the entire episode, and her delusions are tempting her to abandon the world because the world sucks. So what if there was a world that was better? And then at the end, she's like, actually, I care about the world because my friends are in there and I care about them and I care about that world and I'm going to try my hardest. Thanks, Mom. And then the ending is just like, psych! What if we ruined the entire show lore, by the way? Just in the final 10 seconds. What if we did that? And then that was the episode. And it's like, well, very straightforward, bad ending. But I suppose there was a little bit with Sander. And it's that Sander came back and he was like, I freaked out and I fucked up and I did bad things. And man, I hurt her and I feel really bad about it. Yes. But then we are informed that Anya actually disappeared. She left. And the magic shop closed. Concerning. I would say concerning. I was kind of hoping that, you know, she would still be here. She's not. She just left. So, concerning. Very concerning. I mean, but that was it. That was really it. Everything that happened with Sander. We didn't get much there. It was just that. I do like that Sander has that clarity of like, I fucked up and I freaked out. But I also like that he, like, Buffy and Willow, they were like, you know, breaking up with her. And Sander is like, it's not even that. It's just like the complication of the wedding and a family and getting together and the demons and everything, just like everything got too overwhelming and Sander just freaked out and ran away. And it's this thing of like Buffy and Willow were like, wait, so you mean you didn't want to marry her but you still want to date her? You still love her? And I'm sitting here like, yes. And I get that they didn't talk to him so they don't really understand this, but to me it's so clear. It's clear that what really got to Sander is the commitment of it all, because Sander is looking at as his father, who is really the closest thing that you have to a literal mirror of you from the moment you were born. Because like that's really the truth. That is the role model that you're shaping yourself after on some level, even if not literal, even if not conscious. That is your mirror to the world. And you're looking at that and it's like, okay, that is what I have attached to me. And he's looking at that and he's looking at what that relationship is with his fucked up abusive dad and his fucked up mom. And he's like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. Like, he's so afraid of that happening. And he's looking at himself and he's seeing how there are parts of himself that he doesn't like. There are things of himself that he sees as this is going to become a problem in the future. And I don't want to put, I almost call her Emma because I think that's the name of her actress. I don't want to put Anya through that. And he's freaking out and he's like, I can't do that to you. And like, I'm sorry, like I can't, I have to go. That is an horrific thing to do to Anya. And to not give her any like explanation about it, of course, is a horrible thing to do to her. But I also understand exactly what he's going through. And I also understand exactly why he did what he did. But there is a solution to all of this. But it seems like we're not going to be able to have a solution because he just ran away. He didn't explain anything. And then Anya ran away. And we're not going to get any resolution. This just sucks. Cool. I said that at the beginning, I'm pretty sure. Like, I have seen this future where like maybe everything just sucks and it's like, yeah, okay. I could talk about Spike. I don't want to talk about Spike. I've had enough. You know, I had enough of Spike. Willow and Tara, maybe Tara has a new girlfriend. Did they kiss or did Willow think that they kissed? I kind of want to take a look at that again. I thought that they like kiss each other on like the cheek, you know, a hello kiss. Yeah, they kiss each other on the cheek. It was like a hello kiss. But Willow thought it was a lips kiss. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it from like the angle of Willow, looking at it from like a distance, and I could see it. I could see how she would think that. I'm not blaming her for that, but that's not what happened. So, you know, and even if it did happen, like I get Willow would be heartbroken about it because like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, you do want her to be happy ultimately. Like, yeah, you were a bad partner. Like, Willow would have to get that, you know? She would have to admit that and be like, yeah, okay, I get it. I get that Tara would want to be happy with someone else. But that doesn't seem to be what happened, but it could be what's happening. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really curious as to what happened to Anya. Like, there's no way Anya's just gone for the show forever, you know? She has to come back at some point, so I'm really curious as to what we do with that. I do feel it's a little weird that we had that episode with the wedding with Sander and Anya, and it was very heavy. And then this episode comes in and Sander walks in like a fucking sitcom and he's like, hey guys, I'm back, Sander! And they go and hug him. And then the entire episode is just about like Buffy just imagining that she's not real, but maybe she is. Who knows? Dun dun dun. The ending was good, said the writer. You know, I want to be, I want to give you like a Stephen King ending of like, you know, because some creepy shit at the end. Whoa. It really is like a Stephen King ending because like Stephen King tends to have bad endings sometimes because he's like, and what if that was the fucked up explanation. Whoa. And then it's like, that betrays the entire book, my guy. What if you didn't do that? What if you just made the book good and didn't ruin it at the end, you know? And that's kind of what this feels like to me. Okay, I think we're done. I don't know what else to say. I think we're kind of done here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this Buffy episode. See you guys next time. Bye. But if you'd like to watch the next episode reaction, the next 2 episode reactions, actually full-on reactions and need to watch alone, so you can do it over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below. Pop up the screen, support the channel. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Take care.